Support me on Ko-fi for exclusive content unavailable to YouTube. Also, join the Discord. The links will be in the description. Thank you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Factorio Heavily Modded. As you can see, I fixed the issue we had and redid what we did before the last save, since I forgot to save at the end of the last episode. We're going to go get some more oil really quickly. You'll notice this video is split up into multiple sections. Some of them are played at the typical 2 times speed like this one. Some of them played at 4 times speed like you're about to see on our trip up to get the oil. Here we go, 4 times speed right there. Some of them played at real time so that you can experience some new and exciting things along with me. Um, but as you can see, the playtime is 24:18 in the top, which is a little bit less than it was last time because it didn't take me quite as long to redo what I had done in the first place. But anyway, we're going to collect some oil, bring it back down to our factory so that we can have it. And today we are going to work on trying to get a train running. You just see my mousing over each of the meteorites that has landed. But we're going to try and get a train running. It's not going to work. We're not going to get it done this episode, but we're going to try and get one at least made, and I will tell you we have the train made by the end of this episode. I did go ahead and make the 3 or 4 cars that we had made at the end of the last episode, but we will have at least the full train made at the end of this episode to get oil as well as lead and other things from up there in that area back down to our base. We won't have the tracks, but we'll have the train. We'll also have enough tracks for the train to sit on, and we're also going to have a bunch of gates this episode. First thing we're going to do is make this real quick mining vehicle Mark II because we now have access to that, and there's no reason not to, since we just carry around our Mark I in our inventory anyway. We'll do the same thing with the Mark II. And now I'm looking for a place to set the train station up. It's not going to be over here. You'll see where I put it at some point, but it's not going to happen right now. Drink some water, hydrate. I checked the power over here, and because I've been wondering about these accumulators, it says we're not making nearly enough. Later, I will show you why that is, and actually fix that problem. But for now, what I decided to do is just put some more burner turbine generators down to double our capacity plus 6. So I'm going to build these 6, and then I'm also going to double what we already have here in a minute. But yeah, some of the more astute of you might know why this isn't working. It might have told me before, but yeah. For those of you that do not realize what the problem is yet, you will. As soon as I fix it, you'll see exactly what was wrong with it the whole time. But for now, we're just gonna place some inserters down in the belts and everything, power poles, get these new generators hooked up. You see they're already running from the mod that I'm not sure exactly which mod it is, but I know it is a pretty common mod that automatically fills them. But anyway, see if I check the power right here. Production's good. Actually, we're way over top. So that's why I'm like, okay. But let's just make sure, and let's do a lot extra just in case. So I make the other generators to double what we already have, and also symmetry, you know, is always nice. Um, my apologies if you hear a little fan or something going in the background. I've got a heater on my feet here. It's not quite crazy cold, but it's down to the 50s-ish, and I keep the house around 61 to 64 is what our air conditioner is set to run, heat and air, because it's got an automatic mode that switches between the two. But yeah, so in case you're wondering, my feet do get a little cold, so I like to have a little heater under my desk running. But from the test I did on the microphone just a minute ago, um, you shouldn't be able to hear that, but if you do, that's what it is. Also, something you'll have noticed just a minute ago, or just a second ago, is that I did actually replace, we had 2 of our inserters, the first 2 inserters into our burner generators were burner inserters. So I went ahead and replaced those to electric inserters for once, because we're not running nearly low enough power to have to deal with burners. But now you see the satisfaction over here is still nothing. I'm trying to figure out why that is. And if you notice in the list, the burner generators are not listed, and neither are the wind turbines. Um, and the reason for that is they're not connected. We have two entirely separate power grids. As soon as I connect them, you notice the accumulators charge. Everything's listed just fine, and then it charges up. And now our production is way over what we need. So for somehow we did not have our two sides of the base connected to each other, and so we were not getting nearly enough power to the top side of the base, but the bottom side was getting plenty. So yeah, that was interesting. Anyway, back to what we're going to do today. We're trying to work on getting a locomotive and a train system built. First thing we're going to do is automate the production of train tracks, because that's very important, and we'll definitely use those. It will not hurt us to have automatic train tracks. So we're going to hook that right in here to the steel. We need steel beams, not steel plates, which I didn't quite realize when I first placed that inserter down. But yep, we need steel beams. Simple enough, though. We're just going to add a 2x2 inserter right here, and then pipe the steel plates into it and the steel beams out into the train tracks, and that will fix the issue. And then we're going to pipe the train tracks out into a box. And I first limited it to 2 stacks, and I was like, well, it stacks in 50, I think, so no, if it does stack in 200 either way, it's fine. So I put it to 4, because we're always going to need more train tracks. That's just something you always need, just like landfill over here. Anyway, going to clean up some stuff, and we're finally going to get rid of this generator, this power generator here. And you notice we're also going to fix the walls. That might have been bugging people for a long time here. But yeah, we finally get rid of that starter power generator because it was just wasting space. It made 250 kilowatts, I think, which was nothing compared to the other stuff that we have on the grid. The one burner generator makes 2 megawatts, which is a lot more. Megawatts being a million, if I'm not mistaken. A metric system, I'm pretty confident with the metric system. A kilowatt being 1,000 watts, a megawatt being 1 million watts. If I don't have that mixed up, but I'm fairly sure that's what it is. And then there'd be a decawatt is 10 watts. A deciwatt would be 0.1 watts. Then you'd have a milliwatt, which is 0.001 watts. Also, in between that, in between the milli and the deci, you'd have a kilowatt. Or not, no, sorry. Kilowatt would be bigger than a milliwatt. Or smaller, I mean. Well, I even have that backwards. Man, I'm mixing it up. It's milli and killi, or kilo, not killy. Goodness, what is wrong with me? Anyway, I guess I'm tired today, guys. Anyway, a kilo is 1,000. A milli is a 0.001, which is a thousandth. Deca, and then deci would be 10 is deca, and a tenth is a deci. And then there's, in between that, there's a centi, which is 100. And I'm not entirely sure what in between deci and milli is. I can't remember. But anyway, that's where we're putting our train station and everything. Getting some ammo and such. Well, not ammo, but electronic circuits, because I didn't have any. But yeah, I cannot remember. Man, if y'all know, let me know if y'all can correct me, or make up for my lack of memory here, but I know I learned that. Oh, what is it? That's gonna be bothering me now. Oh man. Oh well. Anyway, then I know there's micro and nano, which are even smaller than a milliwatt. I'm not exactly sure which order those are because I don't deal with things that small. But you know, usually, see the thing is, I don't know. So it's like for me, I deal with mainly meters, like millimeters and centimeters, and then I deal with ohms. The It's a measurement of electrical resistance, and then I do deal with watts some, but not really. But ohms is something I use a lot of, and typically when we're reading ohms, instead of saying a deca ohm or a you know a what is it? Well, the in between that and kilo, we just say, you know, 10 ohms or 20 ohms, not 2 deca ohms. And we also don't, we would say 300 ohms, 400 ohms, not 3 whatever it is, 3 centiohms or whatever. We just got struck by a meteor down here, so we're gonna fix that anyway. But we will use kilo ohms as well as mega ohms, but I think that's mainly due to the scale of what I work with, because all we really care about for the most part is whether something has a viable connection or not. And typically anything over 5,000 ohms is, that issue, which is 5 kilo ohms. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I've just been rambling on. We're trying to make aluminum 6061 here because we need it for the cargo train wagons for some reason, which is very interesting to me. When I was playing this, I'm like, okay, you let me make a fluid wagon. I get it needs steel and whatever, and I get that you might have an aluminum, um, some kind of aluminum component to the cargo wagon, but why do we need rare metals for an aluminum beam, right? I guess it's an alloy, I get that, but what possibly could we use rare metals for on a cargo wagon? You know, I get that these have like retractable roofs and a hopper at the bottom and whatever else, but it also kind of, for me, it's like in real life, we don't use rare metals in cargo wagons as far as I'm aware. Typically, they're made of steel and iron and whatever else. They might have aluminum siding on it, maybe, but very rare. But anyway, I'm looking for rare metals to mine. And I noticed these, but these are really close to Tiberium, and the ones up top are really close to enemies, so I really didn't want to do that yet. I also remembered, hey, meteorites have rare metals in them. This one had uranium in it as well, causing me to be poisoned by radiation, but I tossed them in here, and that's fine. And apparently, if you hold uranium in your hand, it won't poison you, but if you have it in your inventory, it will, which is very interesting. That's like, I guess it's a way to get around it. If you're worried about radiation poisoning, if you're holding it in your hand, as far as like on your cursor, it won't bother you. But if you have it in your inventory, that's where you got a problem. We also fight another boss wave, so you can see as I quickly get ready for this. We're going to grab some ammunition, some grenades, and a few more things. We're actually going to use some chain gunners to fight the boss wave. One self-powered, or what is it? One of them where I'm driving it basically, and one of them that's going to be AI controlled. And then that'll be what we're going to use to fight these things. So yeah, fight these enemy soldiers. And one thing that I have learned since playing this episode is that we are very, very powerful right now. Also, I couldn't figure out where these guys were coming from because for some reason it wouldn't tell me the position I was looking at on the map. I thought it used to, but I guess not anymore. Anyway, I just ended up having to hop in the chain gunner and drive off to find the place. You can see we're at negative 45, negative 9, and I believe it was at positive 600, negative 300 or something. But basically they're coming from the northeast, if you're looking at the map from north, south, east, west. Um, so I pack up myself and another chain gunner, and we just head up this way. So we're gonna switch this back. I believe it's been on 4 times speed. I think we're about to switch back to 2 times speed. Or maybe we're gonna go faster, one of the two here. Yeah, we slowed down to 2 times speed again, or 1 times speed. I'm not entirely sure. I know at some point in just a minute I'm gonna slow it down to 1 times speed. I think this is it. We're now at current real-time speed so that y'all can see, because I wanted to show you with our new research of bullet speed and gun turret damage and also bullet damage, how quickly we can take care of these things, right? Of course, the chain gunners have always been real quick, but you can see it's one shot from the chain gunners, and these things are, you know, the biters and spitters are dead. You won't see them quite yet, but in just a minute you'll see the enemy soldiers coming down from the northeast of the screen there, top right corner behind the map. They'll come down through there. But anyway, I decided there they are, right there. You can see them top right up there next to the map. But I went a little too close to the worms and got set on fire, and I needed to fix my chain gunner before they got here, and I actually didn't notice them at that particular moment. So I fixed the chain gunner, both of them, hop back in mine, select the other unit, and realize, oh, these soldiers are literally right here. Let's go fight these things instead of just dealing with these biters. So anyway, we go off this way. I set the other chain gunner up right there where you can see on the cursor there. We collided, and that actually does cause damage to both of us. But anyway, then I get closer to them, and I attack them, and then my chain gunner is destroyed, so I'm just back to myself. I have to quickly switch to health because of the, and I couldn't get the other chain gunner to come closer, so I had to get these soldiers to come closer to it. But that's really good, though, because they're focusing their fire on me, and the other chain gunner can easily take them all out, right? But yeah, you can see how quickly these guys are going down compared to the last time we fought soldiers. And these guys are actually a little bit more powerful than the last group, because this is obviously the second wave, not the first. So you can just see how quickly that these guys were destroyed. Anyway, I'm going to take this chain gunner, AI chain gunner, and I'm going to have him go and destroy some of these bases. I wanted you to see that. But yeah, you saw the wave in real time. We're about to speed back up here to 4 times speed. But yeah, just check this out. The base is just destroyed. That was real time. And now we're going to jump to hyperspeed here as we clear out some more bases that got too close to our encampment here. But anyway, he's out of ammo, and I didn't realize it. So I added some ammo, and then when he got close to low health, in a minute he does, I take the ammo away from him, but you can just see him mowing down these guys over here, right? It's just awesome. So yeah, I took the ammo and the fuel so it wouldn't get destroyed, and then I go back to just the old-fashioned way, fighting them with my own bare hands and a machine gun. This grapple hook, you'll see me use it a lot in this video as well. It's really, really fun and really cool too. Also installing gates all over the place because we had the steel for it. But yeah, these guys just came right on back to right next to our base, so I decided to go dispatch them and then continue to work our way back because there's even more just around here. This is real-time speed. You can just watch as I personally am destroying this base, just to show you the difference between what it used to be and what it is now. I mean, the time it takes me to destroy these bases now is, you know, about the same time it took at 2 times speed, you know? So it's pretty cool to be able to just do this and beat these guys, you know, with no problem. You can see even the big nest doesn't even stand a chance. Anyways, we're back up to 4 times speed, hyperspeed here. We'll run into these next bases just to get these expansion zones further back away from our home base here and our territory. These biters are encroaching and we don't like that. And we're going to continue to go on through a few more bases here, I think. And then we'll be about done. But it won't be very much longer of destroying bases because I really didn't want to spend much time on that. This is also a much shorter video than usual because I'm trying to get it down in time frame. This is the last base we destroyed, by the way. Anyway, I'm trying to get the videos down to a shorter time frame just because I feel like everybody always tells me, you know, the shorter your videos, usually the more views you get. And, you know, although I'm not all in it for views, I really just enjoy making these videos. At the same time, it would be nice to have, you know, a lot more people watch. And I feel like if I can get each video down to maybe 15-20 minutes, that would do great. But I still want to record for about an hour, so that's what I do. I record, you can see the grapple hook, just go ham on it. Anyway, I record for about an hour, and you know, I keep using the grapple hook to go through the gates, but I forget I can just grapple over the walls. Anyway, um, I record for about an hour, then I edit it down to about 20, 30, 40 minutes, depending on what the content of it is. And then that's the video. But I'd like to try and keep videos down to 20 minutes. That's why I'm deciding I'm going to do more editing and really edit the parts of biter attacks and stuff, edit them really down, you know, low, to where they don't take up barely any time at all, because they just almost every video you see me dealing with biters, and it's just crazy. And it's because of the rampant mod, sure, but at some point I feel like that kind of gets boring, doesn't it? You know, so really I just like to have the videos not have as much of that in it. So I'm going to try and edit the time frame on those fights down as far as I can. But anyway, we need more rare metals, so come up here to these meteors and grab some more. And we're coming close to the end of this episode here, I think. There's a couple more sections here of time frames. But anyway, we're going to smelt some rare metals. We're going to smelt this, or found, I guess, this 6061 aluminum alloy. And I made all this stuff and didn't even realize that it makes 20 at a time, which is all we need. So, yeah, that was pretty interesting to find out. Like, oh, I made all this rare metals and stuff, and we don't actually need that much, but I'll go and make some anyway. So that's what I do. I just went ahead and let it cook the rest of it. But we're going to place down our nice train tracks here. Train cars. Forgive me. Anyway, our cargo wagon. We've got, so this is the way our train's going to be laid out. We've got the armored locomotive at the front and the back. We've got minigun turrets at the next to the front and next to the back. A radar turret next, third in line at the front, then fluid, then cargo. And you can see I try to figure out how this works. I'm like, okay, if I load ammo and fuel in here, will that fuel the things? And no, there's actually a smaller hitbox that I can't really seem to click on these cars that I have to hit, and I figured out how to do that. I just spent some time looking at this. But yeah, so it turns out they have really small hitboxes because the radar and each of the turrets are actually separate entities from the platforms that they're on. So the platforms don't have any inventory, but the actual guns and radar do. So you just have to really aim at the right spot to figure it out. But you can see me just messing around with the train here in just a minute, and that's going to cue the end of the episode. That's going to cue my winding down point. Um, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was kind of a shorter one, but I really do hope you enjoyed. Support me on Ko-fi for exclusive content, Factorio Puzzle Tory Mod, as well as join the Discord to talk to me outside of YouTube. But yeah, that's about it. This is me signing off, and I've been producing videos. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.